Wake up in the morning, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. I wanna move closer, but I don't control it. I know I've been trying, the door isn't open. I know it sounds funny, but really though, in the beginning we really close. Now we just cruising up on the coast. Don't wanna lose you, I really don't. My God, I'm working so hard. I let my guards down and I'm feeling so far. You won't cut me off and I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to know you more. Please, I honestly say I'm mature. It ain't my decision, it's yours. But I will persuade with my arm, cause I'm ready to run to your arms. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. I go back and forth when I feel your presence. I'm above the world. There isn't much better, but then I fall levels and levels below it. Don't know where I'm going, don't know where I'm holding. I say I gave up, but I know I didn't. It's just my frustration, I'm only human. I act like I know what I'm really doing. As long as it's you that I'm really choosing. I will never give up, no, I wanna do it your way. You're the king of the world, only wanna do what you say. I know that it's possible to give back my heart to you. Do it that you choose. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. I know that you love me, I really do. Just wanna do right by you till it's through. Please don't ignore me, please just adore me. Wanna be closer to you. I just wanna make you happy. A shining light looking right at me. I give to you gladly, that's my reaction. I just want you to know that I wanna go to a place where I find you, a place I call home, a place where I'm not alone. And maybe I'll grow just a little bit more, and I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored. Then I'll be adored.
Okay.
Welcome to Parents and Pennies, where family meets financing and every dollar counts. Brought to you by MITM Business Consultants. Join your hosts, Art Abrahamian, with over 12 years of experience in finance, banking, and business advising, and Roy Rosales, a father of two and coach to many, who has an extensive background in real estate. These two family men are here for you, bringing real stories, practical tips, and financial wisdom every week to keep your family thriving. They'll help you secure your family's financial future through simple, memorable financial adjustments that will help you achieve your financial goals. Because when it comes to family and finances, it's not about having more, it's about making the most of what you have. Here's Art and Roy.
What is going on, everybody? Episode 14, the big 1-4. We're happy to be here. I got my boy that I love dearly with me, Roy. Roy, what's going on?
What's up, Art? What's up, and everyone here? My four most important in my life. It's been a blessing, man. More importantly, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm back. Everything's good. Baby's 2 months old. I am done being a stay-at-home dad. Shout out to you stay-at-home dads. I'm going to tell you something right now. It's a job. It's not my job. I can't do it. I found that I belong with the people providing financial knowledge and wisdom and strategies and this. I love my kids. I'm always going to be there for them, but I can't. I am not that guy. I can't. I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy.
I'm at that same boat. You know, I can't be the full day because the way I believe we are built, you know, we got to go out there and hunt. You know, if we don't hunt, we can't.
Feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, we can't feed our family, and I think that's how we are wired, right? The ones that have that, and also the difference. Yeah, stay-at-home dads. Hey, proud of you. You know, keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing, and that's a beautiful thing. It's always a partnership. Who, you know, if you're the one that's staying at home, great. Then love and nurture your kids. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. If it's the wife staying at home, love and nurture your kids and your husband and everyone. So everyone has to put in the work.
Yeah, it's a team effort for sure. And you know, today's podcast is going to be chill. We're kind of Roy and I were talking, and we're going to make some changes. You know, some of the changes that are coming are we're going to cut the show down to 30 minutes. So we can give you the most valuable portions of it. And then also, we're, you know, subject to change, obviously, because we're going to try some stuff out. The show's going to be cut down to 30 minutes. That way we can pull the most for our social media content as well, because Roy and I feel like some of the stuff we want to talk about or we want to be shown isn't being shown because we don't manage our social medias. And we're just too busy to sit there and police every post that goes out too. So we just don't have that kind of time. Second of all, a decision that I've come to make, because, you know, we manage the two shows. We have the Parents and Pennies, and then we have the Man in the Middle. You know, for conflict of scheduling reasons, and obviously Man in the Middle hasn't had a podcast in a long time, and that's just because, you know, it's a scheduling conflict. We're going to combine those two shows. Roy and I, you know, Roy's one of the most consistent people I know. I trust him. I love him. And he's a business owner too. So it's one of those things where it's like, not only can he talk the talk as a family man, but he can talk the talk as a businessman too. So we're going to be consolidating those two shows. I'm probably going to redo the intro. We'll see how things go before I start changing everything up. But we're going to, I think week by week, we'll switch topics. We'll go business, personal, business, personal, business, personal. Because a lot of you out there are family men or family women, and a lot of you out there are business owners. And those two things, you know, whether you want to be a business owner, whether you want to be a family person, like at some point your paths cross.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Even if right now you're a business owner and, you know, sooner or later you are going to start a family, right? Then this things that we are having conversation or giving you advice, you know, it's going to help you long term, how to better prepare. You know, the same way you look at it as a business, look at the family, right? You got to be proactive. How am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? What am I going to need to adjust, need to change to make sure that, you know, there's joy?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things that we sometimes, you know, we forget is the joy part of everything that we're doing in life. And this is all towards everyone out there. Like, we want to make sure we're giving you better content and, you know, more straightforward, and also the consistency part. At the end of the day, that's important to us because we wish we would have had something like this that we can go to or just follow, right, every week, and have it there to, you know, for our viewings. And when we keep it. And the reason why I brought it up, the 30 minutes, is because sometimes, you know, we as men or we as, you know, business owners, we have that 30-minute window. And we may be able to see something 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that's it, you know. So I want to make sure that you guys get the best out of us because you deserve the best out of us. And that's what for us is going to be a little bit more intentional, and it's going to be exciting because now we can definitely bring everything up to the table, whatever is going on.
Yeah, I think, and that's the thing, right? Like we talk about relationships. Well, there's a lot of relationships, and that's going to be one of the topics we cover in next week podcast, because Roy and I we're going to do a special for dads next week before Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. And it's one of those things, too, where it's like he brought this up over a phone call today, and here we are running it.
Yep.
You know, communication is key. Communication is very important. Willingness to adapt and adjust and try things out is very important. So, you know, you only know once you try.
Yeah.
After you're done trying, you can go, okay, that worked, that didn't work. So going forward, things are going to be a little bit different. The social media is set to change too, on our end, on the MITM front, we're actively talking to our department where it's like, hey, our social media guy, we're revamping. We're doing a little bit different because we were doing 26 videos, 26 posts. But it seems like the posts I could cut the post down and do more videos and more reels. And then, I've been getting a lot of requests, more of like the healthy living stuff where people have seen my story and they're like, dude, how did you do it? 300 pounds in a year is freaking crazy. Was it heroin? Like, no, it's not. It's not heroin. I'm sure that would work too, but no, it's not. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. How can we encompass, because you're big on the football, so it's like, how can we encompass being a business owner, being a family man or a family person, and trying to live a healthier
being
lifestyle.
Fit, being fit is so important. It's so important that you can carry your kids. It's so important that you can carry the load of the household, right? Like, it's so important. So you got to stay fit. You got to stay conditioned. It's not how strong you are. It's just if you are strong enough to carry your own body, you're strong enough to be able to get all those things done. And sometimes we forget about that, right? Like, oh, I'm worried about this, and this, and this, but then you forget about your health. And we both went through that for years.
Yeah, for decades.
Yeah, hitting that scale at its highest, and now we look back like, man, we're disappointed at each other. Why did we ever let it go that far? And now we made a promise to each other, like, we shouldn't ever do that. Our kids and wives deserve the best.
Yeah.
And us, we deserve to be at our very best.
Yeah.
We can peak. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean we can't peak. We still can improve on something.
Yeah, I make that joke, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like I spent the majority of my life being the fat sibling, and it's so fun seeing my older brother be like, "What's up, fatty?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I used to be the one that gets it. Yeah. Now it's like, hey, dude, you got all the young years of being the fit one, and I get to enjoy it now in
the
my
later
older
years.
Yeah. So it's like it's a funny dichotomy of like what can be, what will be, and to your point of like being healthy for the family. Like, everybody always asks, did you do it for you? I'm like, not really. Mm-hmm. It's like every day, men, we wake up, not even just men, it's just people. Every day we wake up and sometimes we hate ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're not happy with what's going on. Sometimes we look in the mirror. Even now, like, I lost 300 pounds in a year, and I woke up the other day, dude, I just looked at myself and I was like, you're fat.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like what I saw. I didn't like the way I felt. I came into the office. I had an appointment. That appointment didn't go good. It just a whole day got ruined because I already woke up like that. And it's like, dude, there's so many people waking up like this.
Yeah. Well, it's just certain things that, again, we lose so much focus into the positivity in our heads, right? That, like today I posted a video like, hey, if you're worrying or have any doubts, take a deep breath and throw 2 things that you're grateful for. Because a year ago, you were not where you are today. And 300 pounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you wake up every morning and say, man, I can't believe I lost 300 pounds. You woke up with a smile instead of looking in the mirror and you're like, fatty, right? So there's always going to be room for improvement, right? Of course, I would love to have a 6-pack, but I'd rather take 6 tacos. You know what I mean? Like I
See,
still
I'm
enjoy my
over there on
food.
that
You know,
six-pack journey.
you know what I mean? I still take the the tacos, but the journey is there. I'm not in no rush. I'm not in a hurry. I love food. I enjoy food, and food is joy to me. And when I talk to other people, my clients and everything, like one thing that's motivating for them is when it's like, hey, what would it look like when you buy your first home and you celebrate Thanksgiving or your birthday? Like,
yeah. And am I invited to
yeah,
Thanksgiving?
exactly, right? If you have a great experience, they're gonna invite me. But it's just those are the certain things that this is the podcast as we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, and also it's the reality and financing, right? The business part, everything.
Yeah, the
So-
emotional part too, the
Oh,
mental
yeah.
part where it's like we're people, and like
Oh yeah,
Roy's dealing with very vulnerable homeowners because majority of his clients are first-time homeowners. So it's like they're the most vulnerable buyers.
mm-hmm.
Everything scares them.
yeah.
Everything stresses them out. Some of the deals Roy does for and it's not to say that it's a bad thing, but it's like Roy puts more effort into doing smaller deals than he does his bigger deals.
Yeah.
Because his bigger deals are usually done with people who have done this before, right? So it's like he sits there and puts 15 hours into a family of 4 that's never bought a house, and he never complains about it because he understands he was once there.
Exactly.
So it's about understanding like every person's at a different walk of life, financially, mentally, emotionally, business-wise, friendships. I mean, there's a million. Everybody's at a different place. So our goal is to just we want to have a pocket every week for each of those people.
Yeah.
That if you pick up, especially now that we're going to be consolidating the business podcast into this, some of you aren't business owners. So I'm going to have to cater it to the idea of this. There's going to be some new business stuff. There's going to be some old business stuff. There's going to be stuff that's not meant for somebody who's not a business owner. And I hope you stick around and watch just because it's cool information and maybe it might help you in the future as you continue to build that plan.
Or share it, right? Share it to one of your friends and family members that are thinking about. They even mentioned, hey, I think, should I start a business? And it was like, oh, there's this podcast that they always talk about this. Share it. That can be the biggest blessing. It's just you sharing it. Maybe you don't see it, but you found out about it. Yeah. We always know someone that knows someone that knows someone wants to start a business or wants to start a family.
Yeah.
Hey, these are the conversations. These are the shows that we want to keep it real. And sometimes we're not in the best shape mentally, physically, and spiritually. You just talked about something, and we're not. We are sinners, and sometimes we forget. At the end of the day, we're human beings. We ain't perfect.
Nope.
And that's where having the right people, and I'm always gonna say that having the right people in your life is gonna help you recover, right? Reset, recharge, and now let's get back to how we really are.
Yeah.
And no, to everyone out there, guys, you're not the only one going through anything of those aspects in life by yourself. You're not alone. We went through it already. We just want to be with you and encourage you on that journey that, hey, there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Hell,
This
we
is
still
only
go
temporary.
through some of those journeys.
Oh, man.
Like I just said, we'll wake up one morning and it's like, I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
I feel super bad about myself. I don't feel like I look good. I gave up being a slave to food to being a slave to the scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to work through that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I do. I weigh myself like 30 times a day now. Where I weigh, am I up? Am I down? Am I up? Am I down? That's not healthy. I know that. I'm trying to work through that. But that's the thing where it's like there's a mental, you give up one for the other.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I tell people, it's like I went from being a slave to food to being a slave to the scale.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy either. So I'm trying to find that middle ground. So it's like that mental battle, just because somebody's doing better than you, whatever aspect of life you think that they're doing better than you. Oh, well, he's got a house. Okay, he's got a house that he can't afford and he's miserable every day. It's like you rent, but you're the happiest you've ever been. So who's winning? And second of all, why are you judging your wins and losses on somebody else's accomplishments?
Yeah.
It's like Roy making a W. I'm happy for him as his friend. I love him. I want him to be a winner, but I'm never going to look at Roy's wins and say, man, I'm envious.
Yeah.
Because that's not the right way to do it. Roy's walked his own path. I walked my own path. And somehow our paths continue to cross in a good way where it's like we continue to help each other up. And I think that's what this podcast is really going to turn itself to be. Like, I want it to be, and Roy wants it to be this too, because a lot of what we do, we discuss before we even bring it to the table with you guys. And whether we think something's going to work, whether or not, we say, screw it. Let's try it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll make adjustments. And that's part of life. So I'm excited to see where this goes and how the changes come out. Like I said, there's going to be some stuff that gradually they're going to change. We're going to have some changes coming. Like I said, I have meetings with the social media team and trying to figure things out there. And then the health stuff too, like shout out to Justin from the Process Training and Nutrition. But, you know, that's my boy.
We should bring him by one time.
I will.
You know?
I will.
I
That's
mean,
the plan.
I think that would be a great, like, he could come in and be like, hey, these are 4 or 5 different workouts that you can do consistently. These are 4 or 5 foods that you can eat every day. Like, that would be, and within 30 minutes, for him, it's not going to screw up his schedule either.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like we're trying to get more people on. We're trying to get more people involved. And one of the things is going to be, so Justin and I are doing a new series. And the series was supposed to be started, but it was my hospital incident that after I had that ruptured ulcer in my stomach, which was a whole ordeal in itself. I'm still recovering from that. I'm not allowed to exercise until I have another procedure coming up on the 24th of June. I'm not allowed to exercise until everything's cleared and my blood comes back because I lost so much blood that I had to have a bunch of transfusions. So I'm not at a healthy place right now to be exercising. That's why I'm not doing it. But Justin and I were supposed to start a series called Fat to Fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's kind of picking me up as I'm no longer as fat as I was, but he was a part of the process of me being 411 pounds down to 136. And now we're going to be transitioning into like 6-pack and getting everything ready because I have like 30 pounds of skin that needs to come off. So I'm trying to get as healthy as I possibly can before that big surgery and then come back to the table looking like Frankenstein. And then, because for those of you who don't know, you're gradually, as that surgery gets done, you're going to gradually see me with more and more tattoos because I'm going to be covering up those scars with tattoos because, you know, doctors always tell you, like, are you going to be okay to handle that, you know, emotionally? I was like, I don't understand. They're like, well, when you get all those scars, you look like you were eaten by a shark because it goes from, like, your chest to your back to your stomach. It's all over. So you look like you've been a victim of a shark attack. Yeah. And I was like, I'll just tattoo over it and move on with my life.
Yeah. We just got to, again, go with the flow and adjust. I think that's gonna be an incredible show. Bringing in a trainer, you know, how valuable it is for him to bring insight of all the people that he trains, right? All the people that he has trained, and that is so important to have in our life. Is a personal trainer, as a financial advisor, as a realtor. Like, you need those people in your life for you to function right. Because when everything happens or something happens, you want to go to the right person and get that best advice. Right? So, you know, a personal trainer, guess what they do 24/7? Well, not 24/7, but they went and learned a lot about that healthy side that we are not aware. So we need to hire someone to help us break those bad habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where, again, that's what we're gonna do better, is bring you other people that are professionals at that and all around, because we value that. And within 30 minutes, we're going to give you all the content that you need. And that way you can take it out there and do it or share it. Right. Because this is something that is so powerful. Doesn't matter how long you've been working out. If we don't know how to work out, how to eat, right, you know, you're not going to see results.
People ask me all the time, what did I do? And I laugh and I go, you can't do what I did.
Yeah.
I said, if you can do what I did, then kudos to you. But my thing will break you mentally.
Oh, yeah.
Because it almost broke me mentally. I went on a liquid fast for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I eat under 1,000 calories a day. That's not easy to do. And there were times where I've struggled emotionally and mentally, but, you know, it's about the perseverance of pushing through. The trainers that I've come across, the doctors that I've come across. My doctor's been doing so many things for 30 plus years, and he's like, you're the first person I've ever seen have that mental willpower to do what you did that quickly. And that's, again, right? And that's the point, is even though I might have done something,
are we keeping it off? Are we staying consistent with it, right? Because that's also the thing, right? People, I'm going to get that, do the surgery or do that. But if you don't change those habits, you're going to get back to even worse.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just understanding why you're doing it and that it is for your benefit, staying healthy, being fit. And then you also, hey, now you show your wife or you show your family that, hey, you can do it if you put your mind to it. Then, hey, now you give them hope. Now you give them a reason to say, hey, maybe I need to start being more fit too. So
yeah, and I think fit. And George, what's going on, man? What's going on? Love you, brother. He said, Art the man, keep it up, brother. You keep it up too, man. I miss you. It's not about just emotion. It's not just about physically fit too, right? There's emotionally fit. There's financially fit. There's spiritually fit, and it's we're gonna bring you the pillars that we feel is a key to our success, and then during that, we're gonna continue to talk about all of those aspects and topics because all of those things balance each other out. Financially fit needs, how am I going to afford a trainer if I can't afford my finances? How am I going to afford healthy groceries if I can't afford, my trainer and I can't afford my finances? How am I going to make more money if emotionally and mentally I'm not where I want to be? So it's a battle, and it's not an easy battle. We know that. I never said it was an easy battle. It was never an easy battle for us. It was never an easy battle for those that we allow into our lives. It's still a battle that we fight every day.
Yeah.
And it's just about what weapons. What weapons are we bringing to the table? We're trying to bring you a spear, not a spoon. Yeah. So you can tackle these problems head on. So a lot of changes coming. We're excited for what the future holds. We're coming up on that 30-minute mark. We could sit here and talk all day, and we acknowledge that. But we're gonna cut it down. We're gonna cut it short so we can bring the most to it. Next week, podcast. And we're back full force with the podcast. Things will change, as I said, but just be patient with the changes, because we're kind of figuring it out too. But what's gonna happen going forward next week is going to be our Father's Day podcast. That's going to be catered to fathers. And if you're a single mom, then that's catered to you too, because you're not only a mom, but you're a dad at the same time. Yeah. So, shout out to our 4 things. Yeah. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. You got anything before we go?
Nah, stay blessed, stay healthy, and hey, smile.
That's right. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Take care.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Parents and Pennies. We hope you found our tips and insights helpful. Remember, it's not about how much you have, it's about making the most of what you've got. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other parents who could use a little financial guidance. Join us next week for more real stories, advice, and the financial wisdom you need to keep your family thriving. Until then, keep making those pennies count.